you hear it? Does this mic sound okay? Does it?
Oh. Let me try it. Check, check, testing, testing. Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're doing well, and welcome inside the Mountain America Credit Union Community Iceplex, where today we have men's hockey of the Division III club variety, as it'll be the Arizona State Sun Devils taking on the New Mexico Lobos from Albuquerque. Brendan Paul alongside Stephen Buxton. And Stephen, two teams that a little similar on the record sheet. New Mexico coming in at 12-10-1. ASU coming in at 9-8-1. What is going to be key for the Sun Devil team today if they want to come out with the W?
I mean, it sounds a little cliche, but it's really the home ice. Both teams, they've had a tough season so far on the road. 5-6 for the Lobos, 6-6 for the Sun Devils. Sun Devils, though, they're 3-2 at home. They've got a couple more home games in them, and it's really just how well can the goaltending hang up tonight. Last week, they had a couple games against NAU, 7-1 performance and a 5-4. If they can hold up in the net, it should be a good one for ASU.
The Frozen Biscuits dropped underway from the Iceplex here. ASU moving from left to right, wearing gold sweaters with black pants and maroon helmets. New Mexico will come right to left, wearing all black as the first puck is sent out of play and into the spectator area. Just 12 seconds elapsed, 19:48 to go here in the opening frame, a face-off in the ASU attacking zone. It'll be Tyler Tremoroli on the draw for ASU, countered by Nick Weaver for the Lobos. Face-off won by New Mexico, controlled right away by Tristan Collier and played out. It's over to Zach Ganshaw. Ganshaw getting it across, a shot just right of the cage. Tristan Collier giving chase for New Mexico. It'll be played back down, and out of his cage to play it is Max McKiernan. Coming the other way is New Mexico. It's Ganshaw. Ganshaw streaking, trying to center that one. It's knocked down by a stick of ASU, and they're able to get it out and take it the other way. New Mexico corralling in their defensive zone. It's Charles Dana. Getting it over to Aaron Thomas. Thomas working up the left side, a big hit right in front of our broadcast area, laid on Ganshaw. The puck is loose and controlled deep in their own zone by Dana. Just over a minute elapsed. Here's a turnover, a chance in front for Sperling. He fanned on the one-timer. ASU working around the New Mexico cage. Back up top, Hoover a shot, just wide. Blocked in front. Back up, another chance for Arizona State. It's Hoover. Hoover sends that one wide, and Arizona State applying great pressure here in the opening minute and a half. Mikowski in front. McKiernan looking for it, can't find it under his pad, but it's able to be worked out by a New Mexico Stater in Zev Glass. Glass will dump it down the length of the ice behind the 4x6, and he'll get a couple of tired bodies off. A chance in front, loose for a moment, as Arizona State trying to frantically get it out of the zone. Wrist shot from Collier, blocked in front with heavy traffic. And here comes Arizona State the other way. They'll send it across. Mikowski giving chase but couldn't get it. It's over to Tyler Weiss. Weiss getting it up, a slap shot high and off the back glass as New Mexico countering shots 2-1 in favor of ASU in the early going. 17:49 left in the frame. New Mexico trying to work left to right. Sorry, I cut you off there, Stephen.
Well, Brendan, early on last week, ASU had a tough time getting things going. Obviously, it was a 7-1 blowout in that Friday game. But early on, they were a little erratic on shots at times. NAU had a couple good minutes to start the game off. ASU obviously took over pretty early on there. But it's whether or not ASU can get things going, get things in sync. The passings looked a little off during some of this first period.
The passing has been a little bit of a rough area here in this opening 3 minutes. As a turnover in front, a chance, a wrist shot blocked away by McKiernan with ease. A big hit in front by Curtis Witkowski, and then he's leveled by a New Mexico skater in Nick Weaver. Coming the other way are the Lobos. It's Aaron Thomas. Aaron Thomas, a long lead pass, gets it up to Cale Drew, who will work on the far right wing, trying to center it in front. It's behind the cage now, played up for Nick Weaver. Weaver in front, wrist shot, blocked away by Spognardi for ASU. 16:30 to go in period number 1. Still scoreless, as here comes Arizona State in a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Trying on the far left side, the shot is just high and wide. It is forced out of the zone, and Arizona State will recoil with Mason Novak. Here comes New Mexico the other way. It'll be Seth Payson working deep in behind the net. He'll get it out in front where ASU will turn it over. Here is Tremaroli. Tremaroli streaking in, his shot wide, and no stoppages here in the opening 4 minutes of play. Both goalies have had a chance, but have opted to keep it going.
I'm a little surprised Tremaroli didn't try to center that pass over to Plua. He had a pretty good look right in front of the net. Just tried to take it on his own, obviously missed.
Tremaroli, a follow-up, hits the bar and stays out, but a great chance from the center. New Mexico working it back in deep. It's Charles Dana giving chase back in the defensive zone, getting it down the far right side and chipping it in. Here is Ganshaw. Ganshaw working along the boards with Wetterberg, trying to center it in front, looking for Weaver, but couldn't find him there, as ASU will work it up and out. Here comes Wetterberg. He'll dump and chase. Collier gives him a bump. It allows the Lobo defense to momentarily get its stick on the puck before Hoover keeps it in and now turns it over. Here comes Nick Weaver. Nick Weaver will opt to dump and get some tired bodies off the ice. 14:51 remaining. Shots 4-2 in favor of the hometown Devils. Here comes New Mexico the other way. It's played up behind by Spugnardi, and Collier will get his stick on it and dump it back in. Tristan Collier, one of the tallest defensemen on the roster, listed at 6'4", having an impact on this game early. Arizona State moving in with pace. Here's Mikowski working around the defense. McKiernan had a chance to freeze it there, elects to dump it to the corner instead. Collier working in deep. Here comes New Mexico the other way. It's Jack Kaufman. Kaufman, a long lead pass. A shot, Zev Glass. A save made by Spugnardi. He had all the time in the world there, and the first real chance of the game for the Lobos is denied.
Brendan, that shot by Johnny Mikulski on the goal over there was eerily similar to one he had on Saturday. Basically the same look, all alone in the middle. He managed to get it in that right corner this time. Just goes for another save for the Lobos.
Both of these goaltenders opting to play the puck. McKiernan, another chance there to freeze it, but does not elect to. A shot is just around the cage. A follow-up chance for Marcus Trujillo is wide. Action behind the ASU net as it's played out to Aaron Thomas for New Mexico. Now a turnover here in quick. Here comes Zechariah Urkanen. He is knocked off the puck, and now New Mexico will take it the other way. 13:09 to go in the opening period. Shots still 4-2 in favor of ASU. Both teams feeling each other out like the early goings of a tennis match. New Mexico applying some pressure, and now it's dispossessed out of the zone by Dane Whittet. Whittet will go off for a change, and New Mexico will rim it around the boards. Opting for it is Cameron Pruitt. It's dumped back into the defensive third for the Lobos. It'll be Tristan Collier, the big lanky defenseman there to play it, as it's dumped in behind the cage, and ASU now the other way with Evan Cobley. Cobley turns it over. New Mexico trying to get it back into action. A high stick is waved off due to New Mexico touching the puck first. As here comes ASU the other way, it's Will Plewa. Plewa dumping it for Fisher. Fisher shot. Glove save by McKiernan. And finally our first whistle with 12:17 to go.
ASU so far, they're doing a pretty good job of forcing the Lobos to reset. They haven't let them get anything going on offense, keep getting that puck past the blue line. Their whole offensive attack has been in spurts so far.
It'll be an offensive zone draw for ASU. Sullivan on the near right wing. The faceoff is won back by New Mexico. It's Nick Weaver who wins the draw. New Mexico able to play it out. On that far right side wing, it's Ganshaw. Ganshaw is heckled along the far right side boards. A scrum along the boards is finally won out and possessed by New Mexico. It's Connor Cook who dumped it behind, where Spagnardi had to roll out of his net to get that one, as Arizona State looks up at the clock, tries to dump one down the ice to Sullivan, but it's knocked down by Nick Weaver, the captain. New Mexico wearing the Carolina Hurricanes-esque jerseys with the red stripes at the bottom, the black jerseys, the black helmets, and the black pants. All black for New Mexico, as ASU in the neutral zone will opt to play this one back for New Mexico. It's Connor Cook getting it up to Ganshaw. Ganshaw streaking in, trying to get a shot. It's tipped and deflected onto the back glass with 11:10 to go. ASU trying to get it out. They finally do for a moment, as Weaver tried to keep it in but was unsuccessful. Here comes ASU the other way. It's Kelton Lyons streaking in, a shot sprawled out of the air by Max McKiernan. This one going the length of the ice. They will not go far enough for icing. The officials had his arm up, but it won't cross that bottom red line with 10:43 to go. Trying to chip in front, a chance. Spagnardi knocked it away. New Mexico has a couple of chances here. That one's dumped down. New Mexico thought it would be icing, but Curtis Brown won't get the call. Dumped in for Tremoroli before it's played out by the Sun Devils. And New Mexico finally able to get something going. A shot blocked in front. A great play by Kelton Lyons to block that one. Another wrist shot is blocked in front by Jason Horner. And this ASU defensive squad doing a great job of blocking Lobo shots early. It's dumped in beneath the net for Horner. Horner being heckled there by Curtis Brown. Mikowski back out front for Novak. Novak, wrist shot, tried to get through. McKiernan got a pad on it. Mikowski, a follow-up shot, just goes over the net. And now it is dumped back behind the net for Curtis Sperling. Sperling tried to center it out in front, but couldn't quite get there for Horner. Novak knocked off the puck by Dane Whittick. It's kept in. Here's a wrist shot on net, blocked away by McKiernan. The wrist shot coming from Evan Cobley. 9:30 to go here in the first period. Still nothing. A 7-2 shot advantage for ASU. Sperling tied up on the far side. Face-off circle. Horner with the interception to keep it in the ASU attacking third. New Mexico trying to chip it out. They are tired, to say the least. Horner finally has it deflected, and New Mexico finally gets a much-needed change. Steven, we've seen a lot of back and forth. What's your take on this game in the opening 11 minutes?
Yeah, so far, ASU does a pretty good job. They usually don't get outshot like this. It's 7-2 right now, but they do a great job of getting in front of pucks. They clog the middle of the ice, and they usually force the opponent to shoot from the perimeter. Right now, ASU's got to do a better job of spreading this New Mexico defense out and giving themselves some good looks. Right now, New Mexico's giving them nothing.
Chance out in front. Brawl for it in the crease. Amounts to nothing. That one's dumped out. The New Mexico D will give chase. McKiernan tries to let it go for icing. It won't go far enough. Charles Dana behind the net to play it, being harassed by a couple of ASU forwards on the forecheck. Here comes Hoover. Hoover back out. Mikowski had a chance in front. Follow-up. Can't get it past McKiernan. He sprawls and has it underneath the pads on the ground. 8:09 left. What a chance for ASU there.
Yeah, right there. That's just about the best look they've had all day. They're playing fast, and as long as you can either ambush that net or, spread the defense out, give yourself looks from far, start trying to get those sharpshooters out there, ASU's going to produce on offense. They score a lot of goals, but so far today, they just haven't been able to do it until just now.
They've reached the 10-shot mark here in the opening period with 8:09 to go. Your cannon on the draw for the Sun Devils. It's won by New Mexico. Coming the other way for a moment. It's played out in front. McKiernan just wide of his blue paint. New Mexico finally able to play it up to Ganshaw and get it out of that defensive zone, which ASU has seemed to occupy a great deal of here in this opening period. Behind the net, getting it out is Arizona State. It's turned over, and here comes New Mexico. Weaver had it for a moment. He's knocked off it. Here comes Ganshaw. Zachary Ganshaw sends it just wide to the right, and it'll trickle to the near left side. A chance there for Aaron Thomas. His slap shot is high into the back glass and almost into the netting. Here comes your cannon the other way. He slows up, looks for Fisher. Fisher on the far left side, the corner boards, leaving it for Plewa. Will Plewa playing it behind. Tried to get it up to Kelton Lyons, but it's deflected by Aaron Thomas. That stingy New Mexico defensive core not giving in here despite being heavily outshot. A battle for it in the far side corner. It is Plewa and his numerical counterpart in Connor Cook for New Mexico. It's finally dumped out by the Lobos. Kelton Lyons will resettle things here for ASU. They'll dump it in. Plewa and Cook again battle. Plewa lays a big hit on the boards. As Portello tried to send that one in front. A chance for Sullivan. Sullivan couldn't get there. McKiernan down on all fours. A wraparound chance, and somehow Maxwell McKiernan is able to keep it out.
I have no idea, to be honest, how McKiernan kept that puck in front of him. I mean, he's on his back, rolling around, just sticks an arm out. I thought that was a guaranteed goal for ASU, but McKiernan just pulls probably the save of what will be the whole game right there.
Maxwell McKiernan, 12 for 12, denied Garner Sullivan the wraparound chances. New Mexico able to get out in a big hit to the head area by Connor Squarey. That's going to be a penalty, so it will be a power play for New Mexico coming up. It is frozen by Spagnardi. The only question is, how long will the power play be? That was a hit right to the head from the elbow by Squarey. It'll be interesting to see the call. Looks like it'll just be 2 for elbowing for Squarey, the captain, one of the captains of this ASU squad, but that gives New Mexico their real first chance here on the power play. Steven, if they want to capitalize, what do they need to do?
Well, they just need to be able to spread this ASU defense thin. Again, it's 4-on-5 right now. ASU hasn't had a ton of time on penalty kill the last couple of games, but one of the 2 goals in that blowout win on Friday was a penalty kill that they had out there. Obviously, they didn't give up much else other than that, but they were able to sneak one past Apfelbaum last week.
So far, 30 seconds of brilliant killing by Arizona State as Aaron Thomas now readies the charge for New Mexico. It's played up into the near left side corner in the neutral zone to Ganshaw. It's played back to Weaver. Weaver makes a man miss. Tremoroli slows him up. It's played back behind the cage of Spagnardi. The netminder from Brampton, Ontario, the lone Canadian on the Sun Devil squad. Weaver, another chance. He's tied up and falls to the ice as New Mexico doing anything to keep possession. Seth Payson, one of the alternates, playing it on the near left side. Ganshaw now behind the net, trying to get something going here with 47 seconds left on the power play. Aaron Thomas back to Ganshaw. Ganshaw makes a man miss, working on that far right side face-off circle, back up top to the point for Thomas. Thomas over to the left side looking for Zev Glass, couldn't get it cleanly. As a scram for it, and it's cleared out by Arizona State. They'll get a change, and what a kill it's been so far for them. 25 seconds left on the kill, 4:37 in the opening period.
Yeah, it's been basically textbook for them, and they've got to be having a big sigh of relief right now for the fact that it wasn't a 5-minute major. It was only 2 minutes, and ASU, with 13 seconds left, looking like they're going to get through it.
Sperling had a chance there, but he sends it high and wide. 5 seconds left, barring a miracle. It's going to be a successful kill for ASU. Squarey emerges from the box. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. And New Mexico trying to get something going. They did not register a shot on that power play. A chance in front, a great opportunity on a centering pass to Dane Whitted, but Spagnardi's able to corral it.
And ASU getting some more changes in on the lines right now. It's why it was such a big deal to get a 2-minute instead of 5-minute. With a 5-minute, it stretches that defense thinner because it's so much harder to get changes in when you've got that extra 3 minutes and you've got to keep clearing that puck. ASU was able to get 1 or 2 changes in, and they managed to finish off that penalty kill.
Not only does a 5-minute major stretch your defense longer, as that one goes right into the bench. The Arizona State bench, they duck for cover, but not only does a 5-minute major obviously take 3 minutes longer to kill, but if it's a major penalty, it's an ongoing 5-minute major as no one, as you don't get the man out of the box right off the bat. There was Sperling there that took that one, as we have a draw at center ice. It'll be Tyler Weiss for New Mexico against Jason Horner. It's won by New Mexico. Into the zone. Here's a chance in the slot. It's deflected by a stick. It was Dane Winnett who had the opportunity for the Lobos. Shots 12-4 in favor of ASU. 3:30 left in the opening frame. Tristan Collier with it, working it up to Weiss. Weiss couldn't handle it. Collier trying to dump it. Collier's taken down. No penalty called. It's behind the net of Spagnardi, and it looks like they might call something now. 3:19 to go. As it looks like they'll just blow it dead here. It'll be a draw just outside of the ASU attacking zone. Jyrkinen going up against Cameron Pruitt for New Mexico. Face-off tied up. Pruitt able to get possession for a moment. Jyrkinen able to get his stick on it and dump it behind the net, forcing McKiernan to play. Jyrkinen keeping it in, trying to dump it back for Fisher. A mad dash forward along the near side boards. Kelton Lyons whiffed on it, and now a chance for New Mexico. Here comes Cale Drew the other way. He's in all alone. A great play by ASU. It looked like it might have been Nick Hriljic who made the play there for the Sun Devils in order to keep that breakaway from happening.
Yeah, Hriljic right there, just an all-out sprint trying to get in front of the puck, able to basically save a wide-open shot for ASU. It's been what they've done all day. They've just out-hustled the Lobos on defense, able to get in front of the puck and clear it so often.
Cameron Pruitt tied up in the corner. The near left side corner, it's Ganshaw. Ganshaw turning, spinning, and shooting, but it's blocked in front. A chance for Connor Cook. He fanned on it, and now here they come the other way. Arizona State. Fisher, long stretch pass, no icing, as Fisher was the first one there. Aaron Thomas able to get his stick on it. Sullivan had a chance. It's blocked in front by Fisher. And Braden Fisher will go off for a line change as Zach Ganshaw takes it the other way. Ganshaw working around a couple of ASU defenders. That shot blocked by the pads down low with 1:45 to go. Still no score here in the opening period. 12-4 the shots in favor of Arizona State, as it'll be Novak slowing up behind the cage and finally playing it up to Evan Cobley. Cobley working around, dumping it into the zone. He'll force Sullivan to chase. Sullivan has possession, and it's lost. It's a big hit laid by Sullivan on Nick Weaver. Aaron Thomas playing it up to Zev Glass. Glass, a nice move around Sullivan there as he dumps it in. He'll get a line change for his group as Spagnardi's out from his cage to play it. We have reached the 1-minute mark of the opening frame here at the Mountain America Community Iceplex as Zev Glass trying to work his way back into the New Mexico zone. Tristan Collier will just be satisfied to dump it in as Spagnardi out from behind his cage to play it up to Wetterberg. It's turned over for a moment to Riley Tallis. Now here comes New Mexico trying to get something going. It's turned over, and here comes Wetterberg. Wetterberg into the attacking zone. His shot blocked in front by Collier. Another chance for Squirey out of the box. Tremoroli trying to center the feed to Wetterberg, but couldn't find anybody. 22 seconds left. Here comes Zev Glass for New Mexico. He is knocked off the puck. It's kept in. Here's Kaufman. Kaufman's shot is in the breadbasket of Spagnardi with 14.9 to go.
And Brendan, through basically the whole first period, this is just about the most physical I've seen this ASU team. I was really wondering, because New Mexico's a big team. There's a lot of bodies, over 5'11", 6 foot, a couple guys over 200 pounds. So I was wondering how ASU would hold up to it. And so far, they've been the more physical team on the ice.
They have indeed. They've been the more dominant team overall as they lead in shots 12-5. As the final 8 seconds tick down. New Mexico keeping it in for a moment. It's Weiss. It's knocked down by Tremoroli. One more chance if he hurries. 2 seconds. He'll be satisfied to dump it to the corner, and that will conclude matters in the opening frame. A very physical match, but no score. 0-0 between ASU and New Mexico. Shots 12-6 in favor of ASU. Stephen, what a period, as you admitted, on the physical side of things.
Yeah, it was really tightly contested both ways. ASU had a couple good looks. Obviously, New Mexico, there was a couple wide open ones, but both goalies solid so far.
That's it for the opening frame. We'll take a brief intermission break, and Stephen Buxton will be delivering the play-by-play for period number 2 on the other side of the break. You're listening to ASU Club Hockey here on Inferno Radio.
Welcome back. It's Inferno Radio, Sun Devils versus Lobos, ACHA D3 hockey here at the Mountain America Credit Union Community Iceplex in Tempe. Going into the second period, no score still. Both offenses have had good looks from each side, but Sun Devils out shooting the Lobos 12-6 right now. I'm Stephen Buxton, joined by Brendan Paul. Brendan, what have you seen in that first period?
It was just a back and forth first period, and as you mentioned, ASU clearly asserting their dominance in terms of physicality. They were all over the ice laying hits, and both defensive units played a great first period, not allowing a lot of high-quality chances to get through. You saw a lot of skates blocking shots, sticks blocking shots. It was just constant pressure from both defensive cores, and that's what's kept this game scoreless. There's been some great chances, but a lot of great defense and offense as well.
So far, possibly highlight of the game, Maxwell McKieran with a save on his back. Still have no idea how he did it late in the first period. Still nothing as Sun Devils win the faceoff, and they're trying to get something going, get it out to Wetterberg. Now they try and get it out into their offensive zone. Tremoroli's chasing after it, but Lobos, they get in the middle of that pass, and they're going to take it into their offensive zone. Squarey gets the loose puck, gets it out to Colby. Colby gets a hit on the boards. Lobos have it right behind the net in the corner. Trying to get it past Sun Devils in pursuit. Goes right past Squarey. They take possession in the corner. Get it past Wetterberg, who gets a hand on his shot on goal. And he's going to freeze it. Shot went right at Spagnardi's chest, and he just gloved it, froze the puck, and we're going to have a face-off on the right face-off circle in the Sun Devil zone. 19-16 in the second period. Sun Devils still out shooting the Lobos 12-7. They win the face-off, but it goes off the boards, taken by the Lobos. Sun Devils get it. Gramlich, he's going to get a shot off. It goes just wide. Lobos take the puck. It's going to be a 3-on-3. Sun Devils poke it away. Lobos still have it, and Gramlich gets the puck down. Sun Devils going to take it out from behind the net. It's going to be Gramlich. Gramlich tries to get it to Mikowski. Lobos right in the middle of it, trying to get a shot off, and they can't. Sun Devils manage to clear the puck, and they're going to take the icing.
Great chance there for New Mexico. One of the best quality shots they've had in this game. They're starting to even up that shot count. They were getting doubled up in the first frame, and with a 3-0 advantage here early in the second, starting to look a little more balanced.
Spagnardi had a couple shots at him right in front of the net. I thought he had it frozen, but the puck slipped through, and ASU managed to clear it. Face-off is won by the Sun Devils. Puck's leaking into the corner. Sun Devils get it out of their zone. Might be another icing call here. Lobos touch it in front of that red line, and they're going to take it out. Play it off the boards. Going after Trujillo. Trujillo gets it out. Shot on goal, and that's going to be frozen. 18:07 in the first. Still no score here on Inferno Radio. Sun Devils with that Fisher line out there. They're going to take the face-off on the left circle. Loose puck taken by the Lobos. Shot from the point. That's blocked. Taking it behind the net. Lobos still have the puck. Played it off the boards up high. They've got it. Shot on the goal is blocked.
Great chance there in traffic to try and get something going. That's what New Mexico and ASU both have to do. They have to find a way to beat these stout defensive groups. And one way you do that is getting traffic and shooting for a rebound.
Jurkinen's line in there. He wins the faceoff, gets it to Lyons. Lyons plays off the boards to Fisher, trying to get it into their offensive zone. Wachowski on the attack. Wachowski going into that corner, trying to get after him. Play just past the red line by Lyons. Lyons to Fisher. Fisher back to Witkowski. Witkowski shot. That's off the blocker. Lobos get the loose puck, taking it up the ice. Just in front of the red line, Sun Devils take over. Sun Devils, it's Jyrkinen. Jyrkinen in the corner. Lobos take over. And a shot goes right off the net. 17-11 left in the first period, in the second period, still no score. Lobos catching up in the shots department. It's 14-11. As Will Plewa is going to take that faceoff on the left faceoff circle in their offensive zone. Lobos win it. Get it out. It's Seth Payson. Payson gets the pass off. That shot's blocked. Spagnardi had a good block. Try and get a centering pass there. It got tipped up in there. They're going to play it behind the net. And Plewa is going to take the puck and move up the ice with it. Gets it out, shot, just Finn. Plewa gets it back up high. It's Novak. Novak dumps it over to Riley. Riley gets it off the boards to a teammate. Now it's Fisher. Sun Devils have to reset. Puck went past the blue line. Gets it to Cobley. Cobley dumps it in. Played by the Lobos in their defensive zone. Lobos going to take it up the ice. Ganshaw's chasing after. Ganshaw right up against the boards. Pressured by the Sun Devils. He's got an out if he can get it over to him. Ganshaw gets it out to Squarey. Sun Devils going to take over. Wetterberg tries to get it to Tremoroli. Tremoroli manages to get it out, dumps it in. And Cobley's going to play it behind the red line. Sun Devils have to reset again. Gets it out to Squarey. Squarey up high, tries to get a pass off of a Lobo. Wittenberg tries to get one. He can't get a hold of it. And McCurran's just going to stop the play.
Great sequence there. Sorry, I missed a little bit of it. Some people here in the stands were trying to get on the live stream here on Inferno Radio. Well, we live stream all of our stuff Inferno TV, and if it's a club hockey game, we'll be on Inferno Radio too.
Shot from up high by Squarey is good. Sun Devils on the board first. Squarey with an absolute laser just past the blue line. Sun Devils finally break through.
What a wrist shot there from Connor Squarey. Tucked it right in that back left corner, and you can't get any more pretty than that. He had a wide open lane too. That's one of the times you need to take advantage, and ASU did just that here in the second, getting the scoring opened.
Jason Horner in on the faceoff. Lobos win it. Sun Devils take over, though. Horner back with the puck. Gets it out to Michalski. Wide pass. Michalski gets it, though. Michalski working through that defense. And we've got a penalty on the play. Officials stop the play. Doesn't look like anyone's going to the box right now. They're going to take it on the blue dot. Sun Devils win the faceoff. Get it to Horner, who fires it in. And McCurran's just going to sit on that.
A lot more stoppages in these first 5 minutes than we got in the first period, where it was go, go, go. Now these goalies are sort of opting to slow things down, especially New Mexico. You find yourself trailing now, so a different approach.
15:08 left in the second period as the Sun Devils lose the faceoff. It's going to be Curtis Brown taking it out for the Lobos. Sun Devils get in the middle of it, fighting against the boards. Michalski and Spearling in on it. Spearling gets it out to Gramlich, who fires it in. It's going to be played off the boards by Curtis Brown. Lobos trying to get it out of their own zone. Sun Devils keep it in front of that red line. Lobos taking it out. Gets tripped up over the middle of the ice. Cooper Lyons taking it. Gets it to Michalski. Michalski over to Sperling, who dumps it in. And Brown's going to take it behind the net again. Brown gets it out to Whittet. He gets it to a teammate almost back to Whittet, but he recovers. Sun Devils get in the middle of that. Mikowski's going to dump it off to Urkanen. Urkanen making some moves, gets it to Fisher, who plays it off the glass. Lobo's going to take over. Lobo's just trying to get out of their defensive zone. Sun Devils got in the middle of that. Urkanen from behind the net. Urkanen was trying to find Herjlak. Lobo's taking it from behind the net again. Sun Devils applying a lot of pressure over the last couple minutes. 13:39 left in the second period. Still 1-0. Looks like the Lobos have a chance here. It's Aaron Thomas. Aaron Thomas got tied up. Sun Devils get it to Wachowski. Wachowski to line. Shot is blocked. Good save there. Sun Devils trying to take it out from the corner. Urkanen almost had a stick on it. It's going to be saved by Lyons, who fires it in. Lyons gets a change in. Sun Devils firing it in. It's going to be Cobley who fires it in. And McKieran's just going to stop the play right there. 12:57 left in the second period.
It looks like we've gotten to that point in the game where Arizona State is starting to approach the floodgates here. You've seen them control most of the offensive zone pressure here in this first half of the second. They did it in the first, unable to break through. They finally got the breakthrough goal. The question for ASU, will it continue to flow?
Garner Sullivan in on the faceoff. Lobos trying to get it out, but it's fired back in by ASU. Back into that left wing corner. Trying to fight for the puck. Cobley gets it over. Finn shot right there. It was Mason Novak. Novak to Sperling. Sperling tries to get it through. But they're going to fight for it against the boards. Lobos take over. It's a 3-on-3 right now. And they're going to call offsides.
Yeah, it looks like they got Ganshaw on that far side of the left of the blue line there on the left wing, just streaking past the puck. And
Seth Payson, Ganshaw, and Nicholas Weaver were trying to get a play going. It looked like it had a chance, but again, Ganshaw just caught offsides. Face-off on the right dot. Sun Devils can't get that one. Fired in by New Mexico. Cobley's going to play it from behind the net. Cobley's going to take it out. Tries to get it to Portello. New Mexico takes that errant pass, dumps it in. Getting chased by Weaver. But Arizona State gets to it first. Fired back in by New Mexico, keeping it in their offensive zone. But it's going to be played out by Novak. Novak gets it out. They try to get it to Plewa. That pass is just wide. Plewa's chasing after Brown in the corner. Brown got out of that. Puck in the air, grabbed by Cobley, just past center ice. Cobley to Tremoroli. Tremoroli, it's a 2-on-2. Tremoroli gets a shot off. Just past Curtis Brown, who couldn't get it. Sun Devils still have the puck. They have to reset, though. Getting taken out by the Lobos, fired it in. 2-on-2 if they could get it. ASU's finally got everyone on defense caught up. Up high at the point. Fires it into a party of Sun Devils. Connor Squarey in on pursuit. Sun Devils 3-on-3 right here. Squarey tries to fire it in, but McKieran's going to stop the play. 10:54 left in the second period here on Inferno Radio. Sun Devils up 1-0.
And the shots again, New Mexico got it to a point where it was only a 2-shot difference, 12-10, and now ASU 21-12 in that category. It seems any minute, if they get it going, they'll break through.
Do you think for the Sun Devils that the frequency of their line changes, making sure everyone's fresh, is what leads to just the game getting lopsided, whether it's the shots or time of possession, just being able to stay on top of the puck?
It has. I think ASU has the advantage. They've got a couple more forwards, a couple more defensemen at their disposal, and that's really been key. They've looked like the faster and more complete team in this game, and it looks like it's because of those lines and those extra bodies they're able to play.
Pass just wide of Mikowski, who's chasing it after it. McKiernan fires it out. Lobos just trying to get out of their own zone. Gets caught on a couple Sun Devils. It's going to be a 3-on-2 right here. Lobos fired in, it's high. Almost had an open net there. Couldn't get the shot off though. Sperling's going to take it out with Horner. Sperling trying to fight through that Lobos defense that's been so solid today. Into the corner. Sun Devils trying to fight for it, but they can't come out with it. Taken out. It's number 52, Tyler Weiss, who tries to get a shot off, but Spagnardi's going to grab it and stop the clock. 9:42 left in the second period. Sun Devils still up 1-0, but in this period they've dominated the time of possession and dominated shots on goal. It's 21-13, and again, that deficit was at 1 point too. Sun Devils win the faceoff, trying to get it out to Witkowski, who takes a massive blow against the boards. Lobos get it out to the other side of their defensive zone, fired it into the Sun Devils bench.
As you were mentioning earlier, a lot more physicality in this game than you're used to in some other club games. I think that it's a rarity to see in some club hockey because there's a lot of penalties for egregious hits in club hockey, but this has been a fun one to watch.
Zechariah Urinikin takes the face off. Sun Devils win it, trying to get it down low. They're fighting for it against the boards. Witkowski's in the pile. Sun Devils come out with it. Lobos get in the middle of an errant pass, taking it out. 3-on-3 if Sun Devils catch up. Fires it, and it's going to be played off the boards. It was Tristan Collier, and that goes right over the boards, almost behind us.
Right over our head there. It's cornered in behind the wall here.
We've had a couple close calls here, and to be honest, Brendan, I'm a little worried this time because it's my laptop getting used.
I'll try and block it the best I can.
Sun Devils win the faceoff, try to fire it into neutral ice. Lobos take over, but an errant pass there. Fisher's in on pursuit. Buchanan almost had a stick on it. Lobos taking it out. 2-on-2 right here. Shot is blocked. Sun Devils taken back over. Plewa trying to fight through the defense. Plewa passes it behind the net, off the boards. Sun Devils couldn't get a handle on it. Could take over right behind their own net. They're going to have to take it back out full length of the ice. Sullivan recovers it again, tried to get it to Cobley, who he does now. Cobley tries to get it past the blue line. Sun Devils just trying to get into their offensive zone. New Mexico managing to keep them out. Sullivan at center ice. Gets it back to Novak, who fires it in to Sullivan. Sullivan dumps it off the boards into the corner. Back into the corner. Sun Devils get it up to Kobe up high. Cobley fires it in, centering pass, action in front of the net. Couldn't get one through. Cobley's going to dump it in again from just past the blue line. Sun Devils get a line change in. Lobos get it out to number 27, who I do not have on my roster. But they're playing it from behind the net, trying to go around. Spagnardi managed to keep his leg blocker in front of it. Sun Devils back on offense. Tremoroli fired it in. Wittenberg gets the shot in front of the net and scores! Keegan Wetterberg puts the Sun Devils up 2 with 6:55 left in the second.
What a feed there in front. Wetterberg, the recipient of a beautiful pass. McKiernan a little slow to get up, might just be trying to recuperate himself after sprawling to all fours on that one. And another thing, going back to the numbers, that's one of the things about club hockey. Sometimes there's not a lot of sources for numbers, but we do the best we can in this entirely student-run broadcast.
Sun Devils keeping the same line out there. Tremoroli wins the face-off, but Lobo's going to take over. Sun Devils get a stick on it, poke it out of their zone. Chasing after it. They're not going to take the icing. Tristan Collier is going to try and take it out. Sun Devils applying pressure everywhere on that New Mexico defense. They just now get it past the blue line. Marcus Trujillo tries to get it across, but Wetterberg's going to take it again. Wetterberg to Squarey, who makes a move. Squarey all on his own. Just past the blue line. Squarey going into the right wing corner. Tries to pass it back. Tried to get it to Jason Horner, who he couldn't reach before getting past that blue line. Horner fires it off the right wall. Lobo's going to take back over. It's Collier. Collier tries to fire it in, but Sperling keeps it past that blue line in the New Mexico defensive zone. New Mexico taking it out into ASU's defense. New Mexico shot just wide. Dane Whittick couldn't get all of it. Sun Devils getting out of their defensive zone again. Horner fired it out. Hergelak going to take it from behind the net. Gets it to Horner again. New Mexico has to reset. Sun Devils taking it up the right side. It's Hoover. Hoover fires it in. New Mexico gets the puck in the corner. Get it out to Collier. Collier taking it out with his teammates. Sun Devils get in the middle of that pass. Mikowski off the boards. Couldn't handle that puck, shot from up high. Trying to get it from behind the net. Weaver in on that one. Sun Devils get it out of their zone. New Mexico has to reset again. Seems like all game they've done a good job of keeping this New Mexico offense in spurts as Mikowski fires it in, and we're going to stop play again. 4:28 left in the second.
They have done a fantastic job. The forecheck, the pressure in the defensive zone have just been unparalleled in this game. 15 saves on 15 shots for Nick Spagnardi also is not too shabby.
Sun Devils win the faceoff, get a shot off, but McKieran's just going to freeze the play again. McKieran's been solid so far today, just the 2 goals. But that last one, he was looking a little slow, trying to recover from a couple shots. ASU managed to sneak one past. ASU loses possession. They're going to take it out. The Lobos, Curtis Brown fighting past Novak. Curtis Brown behind the net, trying to get it out. Gets it to Ganshaw. Ganshaw back to Brown. Brown trying to weave through, gets it to Ganshaw. Ganshaw fires it, and Spagnardi gets a lucky break right there. ASU managed to clear it. Witkowski in on pursuit, delivers a blow against the boards. Cannon fires it in just off the glove. Brown fighting for it in that corner. Going along the boards. Cannon trying to get that puck. Ganshaw just missed it right there. Fisher takes over for the Sun Devils. Fisher dumps it in, and it looks like they might take an icing, and they do. 3:20 left in the second period. Sun Devils up 2-0.
This has been a breakthrough period for ASU. You saw New Mexico's last trip to the offensive zone. Didn't result in much. He had one chance, but Spagnardi and the rest of that defensive group, a great job to minimize the damage.
Sun Devils win the faceoff. Cobley's going to take it behind the net. Fires it out to Witkowski. Witkowski dumps it in. Off the boards. McKiernan doesn't play it. Lobos take over, but fired it off of Will Plewa's skate. Sun Devils try to get a pass off, but New Mexico right in the middle of that. Sullivan gets it just past the blue line. Sullivan loses it for a second. It's taken over by Cobley. Back to Novak. Now it's Cobley behind the net. Cobley firing it out to Plewa, who takes it past the blue line. Plewa and Sullivan, first two into the offensive zone for the Sun Devils, fires it behind the net. Sullivan gets a stick on it, fighting for it. Looks like Garner Sullivan's going to try and get that back, but New Mexico gets it past him. Garner Sullivan fires it back into the offensive zone. New Mexico manages to clear it, though. Gramlich and Hoover chasing after it, but ASU's going to take the icing and the face-off in their offensive zone.
You get Connor Squarey back out there, who scored the first goal. He's back out at that right point. Look for him to get a wrist shot, another opportunity at the wrist shot if they're able to win the draw cleanly.
Squarey, one of the team leaders in goals. He's got 15 so far on the season. Tremorley can't win it on the face-off. Lobo's going to take it out. It's Jack Kaufman who delivers a hit on the boards. New Mexico starting to get physical. Weideberg and Gramlich trying to take it out. Gramlich having some trouble getting past Dan Whittet. They get it out to Weideberg off the boards. Can't get a handle on that. Gramlich in there. Whittet takes it away. Whittet still with the puck for the Logos, tries to play it off the board. Weideberg freezes it for the Sun Devils.
Final minute 42 of the middle period. If you're New Mexico, you need to get something going, have some momentum to take in to the final 20.
Tremorley in on the face-off with a minute 42 left in the game. Tremorley and Tyler Weiss. Lobos managed to win it. Weiss taking it up. Weiss into the corner. Connor Squarey almost had a stick on it. They fire it in just past the net. Weideberg dumps it out. Tremorley trying to get the puck. Lobos take it past the blue line. No offsides there. They still take it over. Tyler Weiss fires it in. Weideberg going to take it out, though. Lobos managed to keep it in front of the blue line. Cale Drew, but they're going to call offsides.
Much to the displeasure of the New Mexico bench, their coach Bradley Harris, jumped up immediately and is still arguing with the officials.
I don't necessarily blame him. It was a close call right there with a minute 9 left in the period. Still 2-0 Sun Devils. Jason Horner in on the faceoff. Sun Devils get yet another line change in. Can't win it, but they managed to get the loose puck to Hergelak, who dumps it in. Sun Devils chasing it after it in the corner. It's Spearling who comes out with the puck. Spearling just misses on the pass right there. Spearling fighting for it in the corner, trying to take it out. Spearling gets it behind the net, but the Lobos are going to take it out. Lobos get it out to Cale Drew. Cale Drew makes a move, gets it into the corner, tries to find Nicholas Weaver, can't connect right there. Take it back into their third. Sun Devils trying to put some pressure as the Lobos are going to pull McKiernan, trying to get something going with the last 16 in the period on the delayed penalty. Connor Squarey almost had a stick on it. It's Ganshaw. Ganshaw tries to fire it in, and Mikowski touches it with 2.3 left in the period.
And this is something good for New Mexico to come. I mean, you get a little over 2 seconds of a 5-on-4. You're probably not going to be able to do much except get a shot on a clean win, but you take almost an entire power play into the third, you score on that, you cut this to a 1-goal game, and that makes a big difference, especially having momentum in the third. That makes a world of difference if New Mexico wants to come back and win this one.
Sun Devils have gotten themselves into some penalty trouble this season. Tremorley's got over 30 minutes of penalty time so far. And they're going to have to go back on power play for the next about 2 minutes of the third period. Clocks go to 0, and it's 2-0 Sun Devils going into the third. Brendan, what did you see in that period?
ASU started to get their wheels under them. They had some shots. They had shots in the first period. They had 13 shots in this one. And they started to connect. They had Connor Square, the beautiful wrist shot that finds the back of the net. They started to get more pressure in the offensive zone. They started to tighten up defensively. And it's honestly a good thing for New Mexico that this is only a 2-0 game, because with the quality and plethora of shots that ASU had, it could be a lot worse right now.
And we mentioned how New Mexico managed to bring it within a 2-shot difference. They were really taking over the momentum in the first half of that second period. Now it's 25-16. ASU has managed to pull away a bit. How did that happen?
It just happened with solid defensive play for Arizona State. They continued to do what they did in the first period. That's blocking shots with sticks, skates, putting your body on the line, doing anything to prevent Spagnardi from having to make acrobatic saves. And we've seen McKiernan have to make a couple of sprawling saves in this one, and that's really been the difference, because you saw after he gave up the second goal, he was a little slow to get up, stayed on that knee for a little bit. That can speak volumes to your team if you're able to block shots defensively later on in the game.
Well, we're going to go to break. ASU's going to come out in the third period on penalty kill. They've got 1:58 to kill. It's 2-0 Sun Devils. Thanks for joining us here on Inferno Radio. We'll be back.
Back inside Mountain America Credit Union Community Iceplex. We're through 40 minutes, the final 20. Coming up right now as the puck is dropped, Arizona State leads 2-0. They'll start the third on the penalty kill. Brendan Paul alongside Stephen Buxton for 40 great minutes so far for Arizona State, as New Mexico looks to get something going here on their man advantage as it's dumped out by ASU. That'll force McKiernan out of the 4x6, and Aaron Thomas will steady things behind the net for the Lobos. Here comes Weaver, jumping it back for Aaron Thomas. Thomas touching it up for Ganshaw. Ganshaw into the attacking zone with a little bit of speed, gets it over to Zev Glass, back out in front for Weaver. It's intercepted by Novak. He's able to clear the zone, dump it out. He's being chased by Thomas. Novak is spun around by Thomas into the boards, and the puck is dislodged with 1 minute to go on the power play for New Mexico, and 1 minute elapsed here in the final period. Arizona State up 2-0 as it looks like Ganshaw took a spill right into the ASU net. So that'll stop things with 18:54 to go. Shots 25-16.
Yeah, obviously not the way you want to start the third period with the Sun Devils on power play, because Jason Horner taking that penalty late in the second period. But almost a really great play by Novak, being able to stay up when they took that spill in the corner. Almost stayed with the puck and could have had something going on offense. But New Mexico able to take over, get it back into their zone. And after this face-off, they've got a minute left to get something on the board.
They'll send out, New Mexico will send out their big defensive group, Tristan Collier and Aaron Thomas. Collier at 6'4", Thomas at 6'1", as that one's played back for Cobley. Cobley will send it the length of the ice in the air. A good play. McKiernan will touch it up. 35 seconds left on the penalty kill for the Sun Devils. Coming the other way is New Mexico, They'll streak in to the zone, passing it over, finds Glass. Glass is held up and back around the boards. Thomas at the top of the point, a wrist shot on the one-timer. The puck is loose. Spagnardi's out of the crease. Dane Whittet of New Mexico heckling one of the ASU defenders. It's finally cleared out, and the final 2 seconds of this ASU penalty has elapsed. We're back to full strength.
Yeah, on that sequence in front of the net, Zev Glass took a bit of a spin. He was limping off. He's on the bench right now. I hope he's okay. Looks like he was shaken up a little right there.
Here's Tremoroli, his shot right into the pads of McKiernan. And now here's Dane Whittet being harassed by Ketterberg, who got the second goal. Wetterberg getting it up to Lyons. It's blocked in front by the big frame of Collier, but he's unable to get it out as Tremoroli keeps it in. Thomas giving chase with 17:26 to go. He'll get it up ahead for Marcus Trujillo, whose name we haven't heard in a while. Arizona State back to play it. New Mexico getting a much-needed line change. Back behind the net for New Mexico, Dane Whittet battling with an Arizona State defenseman. The puck tied up, as now it's Tyler Weiss. Weiss playing it out, lost the handle on it. It'll be Cale Drew wrapping it around, and now Arizona State able to corral it and get its stick on the puck. It's Kelton Lyons getting it over to Connor Squarey, who lost it. Played up for New Mexico. Here comes Cale Drew. A lead pass is intercepted by Horner. Arizona State doing a nice job to keep it back in their zone and not let New Mexico get anything going. A long lead pass ahead to Johnny Mikowski, who's been very active in the offensive zone, as it's turned over by Curtis Brown. Brown will work it out to Mason Novak.
And you mentioned the massive frame of Tristan Collier and a couple other Lobos. I mean, whether or not they're doing anything differently, they're just simply harder to pass through because it's bigger bodies. You've got just so much to get the puck around, and New Mexico's done a solid job against Arizona State so far.
They've allowed 26 shots, but only 2 goals as that puck scurries out of play. We will get a face-off at center ice. as it will be Weaver against Horner. The alternate captain, Horner, for this ASU squad. Face-off tied up. Horner able to possess it and dump it in behind McKiernan. Curtis Sperling giving chase, but there first is Ganshaw. Ganshaw ties it up and dumps it back for Aaron Thomas. Thomas wrapping it around the sideboards where Horner will play it over to Novak, D to D.
And again, that size difference, it shows just one of the more impressive things I've seen out of ASU so far today, just the fact they're able to keep up with that physicality, because they're not a particularly big team. A lot of guys around between 5'9" and 5'11", a couple above 6 foot, when this New Mexico team full of 6 foot and up on their roster.
A chance in front there. Sperling and Mikowski tried to go tic-tac-toe, but McKiernan's able to stick it away with 15:06 left in the game. ASU up 2-0, leading in shots 26-18. As this one's behind the New Mexico cage, McKiernan tried to get a stick on it. Someone lost a glove as one of the Lobo gloves scurries its way out to the slot. A shot there on the far side from your cannon is paddled away by McKiernan. Novak tried to keep it in with a leaping attempt, but is unable to. Ganshaw slowing up and turning back around for New Mexico in the attacking zone. Trying to center that is New Mexico, but they're unable to get anything going. 14:27 to go. Arizona State has been controlling things as of late. Here's Cobley. Cobley in the neutral zone, gets into the offensive zone and wraps it around the boards where Witkowski will give chase. Your Cannon, Witkowski, and Fisher, the forward line for the Sun Devils, applying the forecheck nicely. Kaufman along the New Mexico bench got taken down from behind as Tristan Collier skates his way up and slaps it to the right side of the ASU net. Here comes Connor Cook. Cook gets it up to Kaufman. A little bit of sloppy passing there from New Mexico as Arizona State is able to corral it in there at defensive zone. Fisher dumps it in. McKiernan will give chase and look. Connor Cook battling along the boards with Gramlich, as with 13:25 left, ASU leading in shots 27-18. New Mexico hasn't been able to get anything going in this one. Trying to change that, Stephen. What do they need to change in order to come out with something?
Well, they need to take advantage of those big frames. ASU's having too easy of a job getting the puck out of their own zone, making New Mexico reset, because if you look at all of their offensive pushes so far this period.
A chance they score, New Mexico, as we're talking about it. Dane Whittet puts the Lobos on the board for the first time in this game, and what a coincidence and timing there as New Mexico cuts the lead in half. With 12:58 to play, it's 2-1.
And again, I was about to say that they haven't had really any pushes where they've been able to get more than 1 or 2 shots off, pass it around a little bit, because ASU just clears it so quickly. Right there, spend a little bit more time on offense, get the formation going, get a play really developed out, and New Mexico finally able to get on the board.
2-1 New Mexico cuts the lead in half with 12:43 to go in this one. As we just talked about it, Tyler Weiss and Zev Glass get the assists on the Dane Whittet goal to cut the lead in half. On their 19th shot, they finally strike gold as ASU looks to take it into the attacking zone. It's Garner Sullivan hauled down to one knee. Both Sullivan brothers out there for Arizona State.
Glad to see Glass is all right, though, after he took that spill in front of the goal. Again, he was limping, getting off to the bench, and they're on the assist. Glad he's back on the ice.
Trying to get something going. Tristan Collier had it for a moment. He'll wrap it around the boards. It's loose in front, and Will Plewa was able to get it out. Plewa dumps it in. McKiernan gives a stick lift towards it, but Collier able to dump it back down. Was looking to get it ahead to Cale Drew, but he can't get a stick on it, and it's icing. 11:53 to go in the final frame. New Mexico finally getting on the board, courtesy of Dane Whittet, assisted by Tyler Weiss and Zev Glass. Tremoroli against Weaver here on the offensive zone draw for ASU. A shot by Squarey is blocked in front. Novak able to keep it in for a second, but here comes Cale Drew. Cale Drew streaking. He's held up by Connor Squarey, the first goal scorer, as New Mexico has it again in the attacking zone before losing it. Here comes Wetterberg. Wetterberg right now has the game-winning goal, sends in a backhand. It is gloved and protected by Maxwell McKiernan.
Looks like New Mexico starting to change things up on the line. They had Collier in there with some of the second line. Brown was in there too. Starting to get things changed up, and it's looking better so far.
Squarey had it poked loose as Cobley recoils for Arizona State. It's tipped in front. Nicholas Weaver takes it away. Weaver trying to spin, but they play it back for Charles Dana on defense, who gets it over to Connor Cook. Cook in, shot, gloved away with ease by Spagnati.
And again, mentioning the line changes and just the shifts in approach by New Mexico right now. They've got Ganshaw out there with a bunch of their smaller players. Right now, they're taking away that physicality element and trying to just put more speed, put a little more finesse into this Lobos lineup right now.
11 minutes left in the game. ASU still leading 2-1. Out shooting the Lobos 27-21. Puck loose on the near left side boards. As it's finally won out by Arizona State, they get it across. Sperling tried to shoot it in. It's knocked down by Dana and right into the glove of Maxwell McKiernan.
And I think they're able to make that change because they've got so much faith in Maxwell McKiernan. He's had a good day behind the net. Just those 2 goals, a couple of them, one of them wasn't really his fault. It was just a great play by ASU. The other one a little slow to get up and recover, but overall he's been really good.
An offensive zone draw coming here for Arizona State. It'll be Horner to take it for ASU. Face-off won by New Mexico. And it's Jack Kaufman who's able to dump it ahead to Zev Glass. Zev Glass trying to work around and into the slot. Center's one behind. A stick loose. Someone lost a stick, and it looks like it was Zev Glass there for New Mexico. Curtis Sperling hustling down to beat out the icing play. A chance in front for Horner. Kaufman got a stick on that to break it up with 10:13 to go. Here comes Kaufman. Kaufman dangling around Lyons. Tried to get something in front. Collier pops a tire, a 2-on-1. Here comes Mikowski. Mikowski's shot tipped by the glove of Mason McKiernan. He had Lyons with him, but opted to take it himself. And now Zev Glass will flip it up and out of the zone to get some tired Lobos off the ice.
What a play by Jack Kaufman back there, able to reach out, get all of the length on that stick right there to block Jason Horner from having a one-timer. Almost might have saved a goal for the Lobos, keeping it at 2-1.
9.5 to play. New Mexico working in the zone. It's kept in by Dane Winnett, the goal scorer for this New Mexico team. Coming the other way is Arizona State, trying to get it up to Fisher. Was Curtis Witkowski, but he is unable to keep a stick on the puck, and now it'll be Zachariah Jurkinen in neutral ice, who's streaking in to the ASU attacking zone, dumping it for Fisher. Fisher in the slot. He scores! Braden Fisher gets a great feed from Zachariah Jurkinen, and ASU extends their lead. It's 3-1.
Jurkinen right there, it was just filthy behind the back, centering pass to Fisher in the middle. Fisher, all he had to do was just put it up there. I'm pretty sure McKiernan couldn't even see the puck at that point. ASU up 3-1.
The Jurkinen, Witkowski, Fisher line pays off here as we have a 3-1 game with 9 minutes to go. Cobley trying to get it out of the defensive zone. New Mexico trying to get something going here. A centering feed by Wesley Turon of the Lobos, but no one home. A battle for it on the near left side as Turon going up against Garner Sullivan there for ASU. Now here comes Drake Sullivan. Drake Sullivan spinning, trying to keep track of the puck. He's pinned up against the boards by Cameron Pruitt and then taken down by Cale Drew. Mason Novak able to keep it in. Over for Cobley. Cobley, a wrist shot paddled away by McKiernan with 8:15 to go.
And Jurgen, he's been doing that all year. He's been an assist machine. I think that's his 11th on the year for the Sun Devils.
8:03 to go. Cale Drew dumps it in. He'll go off for a change. Mason Novak for Arizona State back behind the 4x6 to play it. Cobley tried to get a lead pass going towards Connor Squarey. He'll get it to Trembaroli instead. Trembaroli lost it to Weaver, and now Weaver will play it back to Tristan Collier. Collier lost it. Here's Wetterberg. Wetterberg lost it, and now here comes Collier the other way. A pseudo 3-on-3. It's dumped behind the cage for Spagnardi. And ASU satisfied to control it in their defensive end for a little bit to bleed some time off this clock, which currently has about 7:15. Here is Xandis Hoover for Arizona State getting it up. Finds Squarey. Squarey tried to get it to Wetterberg, but just out of the reach as Curtis Brown gets his stick on it. Brown lost it. He is hit viciously by his numerical counterpart in Connor Squarey. And New Mexico works into the attacking zone, but we do have an offsides with 6:52 to go, and that'll bring him back outside their offensive zone.
New Mexico with a couple changes here on the lines. Looks like they're bringing that size back onto the ice. It's most of that first line and bringing in a couple more of their big guys, just trying to physically impose on these Sun Devils.
Face-off won by New Mexico, but controlled back behind the play by Nick Frilczak. It's dumped in behind the New Mexico net. That'll be where Curtis Brown plays it. Curtis Brown shifting it up. He's got Jack Kaufman dumping it for Kaufman. And now it's intercepted after a great play. Zev Glass giving chase as Curtis Brown is able to dump that one in, and Nick Frilczak will play it for ASU. Still in the ASU defensive zone is New Mexico. Jack Kaufman has the puck for a moment with 6:09 left in the game and tried to get it out to the point for Charles Dana, but were unsuccessful. Now here comes ASU with a chance. It's Horner. Horner on the far left side faceoff circle. A pass in front. Blocked in front was Johnny Mikalski's shot, and New Mexico able to clear the danger. Here comes Zev Glass. He spins and waits. Zev Glass dangling around a defender. A shot knocked away by Spagnardi on the left pad with 5:39 to go. Dana at the right side point. A shot deflected in front, and Karam to the right side, where it's finally played out by Mikalski, and ASU will get a much-needed line change. Dumping it in for Dane Whittet is New Mexico. It's played in front. Here's Trujillo. Trujillo, a shot. Follow-up chance. It's loose in the crease. Novak finally able to get his stick on it and control it. He'll work it out to center ice and dump it right to McKiernan, who will play it out to Collier. Collier gets it ahead to Trujillo, who makes a nice move. Cameron Pruitt was streaking into the zone, but lost it for a moment. Cale Drew will recover for New Mexico. Here's a chance in front. A pass for Whittet, who would have had his second, but it's blocked in front by this great ASU defensive group. 4.5 minutes to go in the game. We have a loose glove on the ice belonging most likely to a New Mexico Lobo, it appears, as Witkowski gets that one up to Fisher, the most recent goal scorer for Arizona State, before it's dumped back out for New Mexico. Braden Fisher lost it. Connor Cook with it, trying to get around one of the officials gets in the way on that far left side corner board, but Nicholas Weaver finally able to get it out and begin a push. 4 minutes to go. That shot blocked in front. It was Cale Drew who had the shot. Now it's Weaver behind the net on the right side. Works it back up to the point for Dana. Dana, his slap pass to Weaver is rattled around where it's played by Hoover. Hoover for Arizona State plays it up. Still not out of the zone. Cale Drew had it in a moment. But it's finally played out, and ASU gets another change. And Steven, at what point do you begin to think about pulling the goalie if you're New Mexico?
I mean, we're getting really close right here, especially if New Mexico can draw a penalty, get a possible 6-on-4 scenario. I'd do it right there, but with 3 minutes, I'd say you get 2 more offensive pushes, and then you might have to just pull them.
Portello into the zone, gloved away by Maxwell McKiernan. And with 3:07 left, the shots evening out 29-25 in favor of ASU. They also lead where it matters the most on the scoreboard, 3-1, as New Mexico makes a line change.
And speaking of those shots, a lot of them happened on the recent push where Nick Spagnardi had to have his heart beating out of his chest. He was flailing everywhere, somehow managed to keep the puck in front of him, and thanks to his defenders who were clogging up the middle of the ice so well, they basically saved a goal right there themselves. ASU keeps the 2-goal lead, and they're hoping that it stays that way.
Kaufman battling for it in front of the New Mexico bench. He'll play it over in the vicinity of Connor Cook. Trembaroli for ASU. Trembaroli tried to keep it in, but it's played out. A big hit delivered by Connor Squarey on Zev Glass. A chance in the slot, blocked away by Spagnardi. Jack Kaufman lost it with 2:25 left. McKiernan was out of the crease looking for the sign. He stays back in now as that one's wrapped in behind his crease. Don't be surprised if when they get it out, he starts veering out again as he did the last time. McKiernan out of the blue paint. A play in the neutral zone, behind the back hit. We've got some pushing and shoving. Connor Squarey and Zev Glass throwing some hands at the red line after a hit behind the play. Will be a penalty as the jawing continues, and Zev Glass will go to the box.
Yeah, I don't think they like the last couple of hits from ASU, mostly the one from Connor Square over the middle of the ice. And Keaton Wetterberg, he might have just delivered the biggest blow of the game in his own defensive zone, just laid out one of the Lobos.
So Squarey and Glass will both go to the box for their role in that little skirmish they just had where it looked like some hands were flying in the helmet area. There's 90 seconds left in the game. The 3 officials here are talking it over. The bench boss, Bradley Harris for New Mexico, up with his foot extended on the edge of the bench. He's being waved off by the officials here tonight as he's trying to enter his 2 cents into the conversation.
And you see it sometimes at this later stage of the game. Both teams, the tension's starting to flow over what it seems from New Mexico. It's been a frustrating game. They've played really well throughout, but they just haven't been able to crack that ASU defense. It's 29-26. They're catching up in the shots on goal department, but much of that has been in a couple skirmishes right in front of the ASU net.
And it looks like Connor Squarey, they put 2 minutes on the board, but he left on the bench, so looks like an early shower for Connor Squarey, the first goal scorer for Arizona State, still barking at that Lobo bench from the locker room area, as it looks like it will be a 5-on-4, looks like a supplemental penalty there on Connor Squarey. And it will also be Zev Glass heading to the locker room for New Mexico as well, as he has vacated the box.
And I think they need to fix the time on the clock. It was at 1:30. Now it's at 2:30.
A lot to uncork here in the final 90 seconds, as it was originally. They added an extra 60 for whatever reason we do not know, but they're going to go with it. Squarey, an additional 2-minute penalty here, so New Mexico on the power play for the next minute 50. Here is Ganshaw. Gets it over to Aaron Thomas. Thomas playing catch with Payson. Payson back over on the far side to Collier. Loose in front, a chance, a scramble, diving attempt by Spagnardi. He keeps it out. And what a play by Spagnardi to keep that one out with 2 minutes left and 1:30 on the power play for New Mexico.
Yeah, Spagnardi along with Novak and Hoover playing a big role, just able to fight away that puck, managed to keep it clear of the net. Again, I don't know how they managed to keep New Mexico out of the net on those shots like that, but whatever they're doing, it's working right now for ASU.
Collier's shot blocked in front. It is 6-on-4 as McKiernan has vacated the crease for New Mexico. That one's dumped out. Aaron Thomas back to play. A big advantage here is that being on the penalty kill, Arizona State can send it the length of the ice without having the icing call. Here's Nick Weaver. Weaver for New Mexico with a 6-on-4 advantage. Takes a big hit from Hoover. New Mexico trying to get something going with 1:08 left in the game. They're now out shooting Arizona State 30-29 with 32 seconds left on the kill. It's one out. Dane Whittet falls to the ice. They'll get it over to Aaron Thomas with less than a minute to go.
And again, the game should be over right now. It was at 90 seconds going into that penalty. Obviously, clock's running with under 50 to go, but I still don't know why they added the extra minute.
Barring a miracle, it may not come back to hurt the Sun Devils here as Weiss works into the attacking zone. A chance in front, Spagnardi down to a knee to stop it. It's finally cleared out by ASU. They dump it down into the New Mexico defensive zone. 23 seconds, giving chase as Portello towards that empty net. Here's a chance for Grimlich. Grimlich, a slow dribbler, knocked down, and here comes Grant Ganshaw. Ganshaw working and spinning along the near left side boards. The final 7 seconds of the game, New Mexico is going to end up out-shooting Arizona State in the end, but it's the Sun Devils who win the game 3-1, and a big hit after the play on Portello. Witkowski didn't like it, and we've got some more action as Cale Drew and Witkowski in headlocks here, and never a dull moment here at the end of this one, as we've got fistfuls of action. The entire New Mexico team jumping off the bench at the end of that play. They're heated. Gramlich is heated. And Garner Sullivan, the captain, trying to get Arizona State off the ice. New Mexico acts like they want to duel. They're barking. Steven, a lot to unpack here after the buzzer.
Yeah, it looked like a late shot for the Sun Devils, and right after that, immediately a stick by New Mexico stuck out trying to trip them up. And right after that, it was just fisticuffs for a minute. Referees are trying to get both teams off of the ice. Right now, Dane Whittett's talking with one of them along with Connor Cook. Arizona looks like they're about to vacate. Jyrkinen going over towards center ice. And it's going to be a win for the Sun Devils. But at the end, it looked like, again, tension's just starting to boil over. Frustration from the Lobos. A hard-fought game throughout.
New Mexico, 31-29 shot advantage when it's all said and done with the 6-on-4 advantage. Something unusual. I don't know if it's an after the series thing or in club hockey it's a by-game thing, but both teams looked like they were meeting to shake hands, and both teams kind of peered off. It looks like they're a little irked at each other, and that'll be interesting to see when these two meet again tomorrow night at 10 p.m. But nonetheless, a big win for Arizona State. They improved to 10-8-1 overall. New Mexico dropping to 12-11-1, still just above 500. Both these teams seem irritated, but they'll get another game this weekend to try and settle any scores they have remaining. Steven, any final thoughts?
Well, I mentioned in the beginning of the game that the goaltending was going to be key, and for Arizona State, Nick Spagnardi was almost perfect. Just let that one goal through, and him along with the back line of that defense were so good all night, and they're basically the whole reason that Arizona State's going to leave with a win tonight.
3-1, Arizona State takes game one of this weekend series. But some interesting actions could take place in Game 2 tomorrow night at 10 p.m. as both teams leave without doing the handshake line after this one. We'll be back at, I believe, 9:35 p.m. tonight for ASU women's hockey against Grand Canyon. Stephen Buxton will be on the call for that one on Inferno TV. For Stephen Buxton, I've been Brendan Paul. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Friday afternoon, and so long.